Dear students, so in the previous class we had completed about the meristematic tissue and we had started with the permanent tissue. So this classification of permanent tissue is based on the function it performs. So on the basis of the function we can broadly classify the permanent tissue into three categories, that is protective tissue, supportive tissue and conductive tissue. Actually this conductive term should be here. Okay, so on the basis of function there are three types of permanent tissue, that is protective tissue, supportive tissue and conductive tissue. So as the name suggests, protective tissue will perform the process of protection, whereas the supportive tissue will provide or help in the support of the plant, and this conductive tissue over here will help in the transportation of substances from one part of the plant to the another part of the plant. Okay, so protective tissue will provide protection, supportive tissue will provide the support, strength and rigidity to the plant, and conductive tissue will transport the substances from one part of the plant to the other part of the plant. So protective tissue, we will see today about it. In the supportive tissue we will see about the parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma. Three supportive tissue we will discuss. And in conductive tissue we will discuss about the xylem, we will discuss about the phloem, because these two helps in the transportation of substances from one part to the other part of the plant. Okay, I hope I am clear. So today we have to start with protective tissue. So protective tissue, as the name suggests, will provide protection to the plant parts. So what are the structural features of the protective tissue? Have you seen any boundary wall? So is the boundary wall is thin or thick? Have you seen the boundary wall is made up of cellophane paper anywhere? No. We always see that the boundary wall is thick. So in the same manner, the cells or the tissue which is found in the protective tissue will have the thick cell wall, and when it will have the thick cell wall it will be able to protect the internal parts of the plant. Okay, then have you seen any boundary wall with so many gates, so many gaps in between it? Never. So here also the gaps, that is the intercellular space, the space between the two cells, will be absent. So both these structural features will help in the purpose of protection, that is the thick cell wall and the absence of intercellular space. Then where is its location? Have you seen anywhere that inside the house the boundary is made? No. Boundary wall is always out of the house, or outer boundary is made. So here also this protective tissue will be found on the surface, outermost surface of the root, of the stem and the leaf. And what will be its function? It will help in the protection. We have to see two examples of protective tissue, that is cuticle and cork. So cuticle is the waxy layer secreted by the epidermal cells, and wax is what? Waterproof. So in this way the internal water content of the plant will be maintained. So this waxy layer will protect the plant from the water loss through the process of evaporation, because this wax will make the plant waterproof. Then another example of protective tissue is cork. So cork is present in the bark, and this cork also contains the waterproof material, and in that way it will help in the protection of the plant. So here periderm is shown. The cuticle is the outermost layer and it is secreted by epidermis. Then the first cork cell, cork cambium. So this cork is also present in the bark region. So when it is present in the bark region, it will provide protection to the plant parts. Internal plant parts will be protected by the cuticle and by the cork. So this is all for today. In the next class, we will discuss about the supportive tissue. Thank you everyone.